Alright, what's up guys? Coming on here with another Houston Texans video. At first I was just going to make a video, pretty much mid-season point, so I was going to do a video pretty much what has gone on right now in the NFL, pretty much of like all the rookies, and then looking at our needs right now, so kind of like if we had to redo it again. So I'm not saying like Clowney was not the right pick, but I feel like if we were in the same situation as we would be in the year, maybe we would have drafted differently. So at first, I'm just gonna go over this little video of who I think we should have picked now that we can see the holes and stuff like that we have. And then after that, I'm gonna talk about Ryan Mallett, who's just named the starting quarterback. So this year, first round pick, we picked Jamin Clowney. I think, like anyone else, even if he had all these red flags and all that stuff on college, I think they had to pick Clowney because he was rated #1 guy. Guys are saying he was a can't miss prospect. He was a guaranteed Hall of Famer, Pro Bowler, all this stuff. The guy was highly touted to come out of college, and the only guy that was somewhere near him was Khalil Mack, who Mack was a good player in college, but didn't have the same experience. He was at a lower end school, so everyone was saying have big Clowney. I think if Houston didn't pick Clowney, then if he did go on and be a lot more successful than Mack, then it would look bad. I think as an organization they had to take Clowney because he was this can't miss prospect. So if you don't pick him and he does good, then it looks bad on the organization for not picking him. But if he picks bad and if you pick him and then he doesn't play good, then it's kind of like a bust. But I think if we had to redo the pick, I think the situation was if there was an offensive tackle or quarterback that was higher rated, I think we would have went with them because I think that switching Clowney or Khalil Mack to 3-4 linebacker position, I don't think that it was a technically huge need for this team. We had Whitney Mercilus, a former first-round pick. We had Brooks Reed, a former second-round pick. Was an outside linebacker one of our biggest needs? I don't think it really was. But with those two guys as the top prospects, you kind of had to pick one of them. Clowney was a more ranked guy, so that's who we picked. I think if you've looked at our team now and knew what we would have as injuries and stuff like that, I think the Texans should have. I don't think they should have picked any of the quarterbacks. Maybe traded down maybe a little bit, picked Jake Matthews because we could use some work at right tackle because the line's kind of bad right now. I think if we had to redo it again and I was in charge, I would have picked Clowney, Mack, but the guy I think that we really could have used, who's playing really good this year, and it's a position that we really need, was C.J. Mosley. Mosley came out of Alabama. He was one of the best inside linebackers coming out of the draft. Had Ray Lewis, pretty much, that was the guy that they pretty much compared him to. Went to the Ravens, and this kid's had a hell of a year. Fills holes, can cover people. He's tackling machine. I think if we traded down maybe and got more picks, the Mosley pick would have been better. Got more picks and could have picked more guys. I'm not saying Clowney's not what it is. He hasn't really played much. Max played pretty good, but I think him and Clowney on a health I think, like I said earlier, it could have been if I would have picked either of them, or if we look at the situation now, you would have to pick. I think you would pick Mosley. I think it's a need that we really have. Cushing's not looking good for his future. His knees aren't really good, and I think that this regime might want to start cutting some veteran salary cap. So I think that at this year, you could see Jonathan Joseph, Cushing, and maybe even Andre Johnson go at this end of the year because they're veterans. Jonathan Joseph's always hurt, and I think that we need to get a better corner. He's kind of been slacking this season. Cushing really hasn't been on the field the last 2 years, and he hasn't played that much this year. And Andre Johnson, come on, we haven't given him anything. Unless Mallett can do something, I think why not get rid of him? Give the guy something. He's been a loyal Texan for over 12 years now, or 11 years. Why not let the guy go and try to win a championship? And then start young at the receiver position with DeAndre Hopkins and draft another rookie receiver. I think Mosley would be the perfect guy right now with pushing out. He'd pretty much be he's a plug-in starter as it was, and he could be our linebacker for the next 5-10 years if he doesn't get hurt. I think Mosley was one of the safest picks in the draft, and a lot of teams passed on him because I don't think inside linebacker is really that big of a need. Well, it's a need, but it's not like the first round high, like the praise of it being picked in the first round is not that big. You haven't seen a lot of inside linebackers get picked in the first round lately, so I think if we did again trade down and get Mosley, but I would have still, if I was picking, obviously, I would have picked, if I was picking just straight off the bat, I would pick Clowney or Mack. They both were pretty good coming out, so I I think you'd have to pick one of them because they were highly ranked and the other guys weren't really close in rankings. Even maybe pick Sammy Watkins if we were staying at 1 because, you know, if Andre Johnson's not happy, then you take him leave, and then we have Sammy Watkins for the next couple of years. So I think that could have been a good pick. Also, but if I was picking now, redid the draft, how it is now, I would have picked C.J. Mosley. Now on to the topic of Ryan Mallett. Today I was in class, saw a tweet, Ryan Mallett's the new starter quarterback of the Houston Texans, and I think this is a great move for the team. Fitzpatrick really hasn't done much this season, and I think the struggles on offense are really the reason this team's been losing a lot. He is 29th in the league, I think, in completion percentage. I think in total offense, total offense, I think we're 27th, or passing offense 27th. For one of those two. That's top 5 bottom of the league, and we're not top 5 bottom of the league compared to defense and offense. I think he holds on the ball too much, can't throw the ball down the field that well, and I just don't think he molds well in this situation. I think Mallett, obviously, he's been in the league for 3 years, hasn't started a game yet, but he has the composure, he has the arm. I think he could be Roger-esque. I'm not saying he's Aaron Rodgers, people, but he sat behind a quarterback. Mallett sat behind Brady for 2 years. Came to Houston, sat for a little bit. He knows the Bill O'Brien system. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for a couple of years too. I think he can plug him in, and he can play great. I think he'd be good. I think he can. If the run game is there, he can beat people down the field with his big arm. I think he can make big plays. He can move a little bit. So I think I think he'd be like Fitzy, but better. You know, he's younger, better arm, and maybe make better decisions. I think why not go to him 4-5 right now? We have nothing to lose, really. I think a playoff run, maybe if Mallett can play up to what he should, if he's up to what better than Fitzy, I think we can make a playoff run. With 4-5 now, our schedule is it's like in the air. I think we can beat the AFC North teams. Stephen Rose was saying earlier he doesn't think we can beat any of them. I think we can run with any of those guys. We should have beat Pittsburgh, so there you go. We could have beat Indianapolis. I think these are games. I think we can win the rest of the games if we play our best football. So I think I watched Ryan Mallett's last game on YouTube half an hour ago. It was just all offensive plays from his last start at Arkansas, and he was against Ohio State in the Sugar Bowl. He looked pretty good, actually. He went, I think he was 24 for 47, but 7 of the passes that he threw were drop passes, and they were literally drop passes. So if you took those away, he would have been 31 for 40. They were literally right in these guys' hands that were dropping. He didn't really have the best weapons at Arkansas either. So showed great composure, could throw the ball downfield. He had a lot of hurries. He was running around the pocket a little bit, got sacked 4 times. Threw for 2 touchdowns, I think around 299 yards around there. He threw a pick at the very end of the game, but they were down the whole game, so he had to throw the whole game just to catch back up. Throw was a little ill-advised. He's a senior college quarterback. That's what happens. I think he's molded under Brady for a couple of years, and he knows the Bill O'Brien system, so I think he can be the starter. He can expand the field and start really good for this team. If he can't start, if he starts and can't play good, then at least we know what we got, and then next year we can look forward to the next year at the draft. Maybe we draft a first-round quarterback and start him or something. I don't know. Tom Savage, I don't think he really get a shot this year unless we start losing a lot of games. But I think that Mallett could be the future for this team, and hopefully that's what happens. We need a quarterback, and hopefully Mallett can lead us somewhere, and then we don't have to worry about the quarterback position more and work on our other holes. So hopefully Mallett plays really good against Cleveland and can keep the season running. Besides that, let's go Texans.